The film begins in a medical facility located in Tokyo. Yuichi Kimura, who is also known as the father, finds himself beside his son, Wataru, who has been violently pushed from a rooftop during Yuichi's absence. Yuichi's own father, referred to as the elder, arrives and reminds him that it is a father's duty to safeguard his family. Determined, Yuichi sets out on a mission to discover who harmed his son. Meanwhile, an assassin named Ladybug is preparing to return to work after taking some time off. He finds irony in his name, as he believes he lacks the good fortune typically associated with ladybugs. Ladybug is also temporarily replacing another assassin named Carver, who is currently unwell. During a conversation with his handler, Maria Beetle, Ladybug is assigned to catch a bullet train traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto. His mission involves retrieving a briefcase that contains money and features a train sticker on its handle. While making his way to the train, Ladybug accidentally collides with Yuichi, resulting in him dropping a key to a locker and his train ticket. When Ladybug breaks into the locker, he discovers firecrackers, sleeping powder, and a firearm inside. However, he decides not to take any of these items, despite Maria's urging. Once aboard the train, Ladybug is soon approached by the conductor, who informs him that he needs to disembark at the first stop because he does not have his ticket with him. Among the passengers on the train are two assassin brothers known as Tangerine and Lemon, who are referred to as twins. They were dispatched by a notorious crime leader referred to as the White Death to locate his son, who is a drug addict and cannot be relied upon to manage himself. Lemon bases a significant portion of his worldview on the children's series Thomas the Tank Engine, drawing parallels between various individuals and characters from the program. Tangerine recounts to Lemon the story of White Death, a Russian drifter who eventually became the right-hand man to a Yakuza leader named Minagishi after demonstrating his capabilities. However, he later turned on Minagishi, forming his own gang and murdering him in the process. While keeping the son entertained, the two brothers engage in an argument about the total number of individuals they took down during their previous mission, which included one unfortunate civilian caught in a dangerous situation. Yuichi boards the train after discovering a clue regarding who is responsible for pushing Wataru. Unfortunately, he is incapacitated by a shocking device wielded by an assassin known as the Prince, who disguises herself as an unsuspecting schoolgirl to mislead those around her. Upon regaining consciousness, she reveals to him that she was the one who pushed Wataru in order to draw Yuichi into her trap. She warns him that she has an accomplice at the hospital, ready to eliminate Wataru if he doesn't receive communication from her every 10 minutes. Ladybug manages to retrieve the briefcase with surprising speed and ease, making his way out of the area as he passes by the Prince. Just as he is about to exit, he encounters another assassin named the Wolf. A flashback reveals the Wolf's ascent within the cartel under the leadership of a boss known as El Saguaro, as well as his experience of finding a life partner. Tragically, a catastrophic poisoning occurred at Wolf's wedding, claiming the lives of numerous attendees, including El Saguaro and Wolf's beloved wife. Consumed by grief and fueled by a misguided conviction, Wolf erroneously believed Ladybug was the architect of this tragedy. Driven by a vengeful rage, Wolf launched a ferocious assault on Ladybug, seeking to extinguish his life. However, fate intervened as Ladybug's mobile phone fortuitously deflected the deadly blow, saving him from certain demise. The ensuing confrontation erupted into a violent struggle within the confines of the bar car. Ladybug, desperately attempting to de-escalate the situation, implored Wolf to understand that he was a victim of a terrible misunderstanding. Yet, Wolf remained resolute in his murderous intent, deaf to Ladybug's pleas. In a desperate act, Wolf hurled his weapon, which, in a bizarre twist of fate, ricocheted off a nearby briefcase before impaling Wolf's heart, instantly extinguishing his life. With a chilling composure, Ladybug concealed Wolf's injuries, meticulously staging the scene to appear as if he were merely slumbering. Swiftly, he seized Wolf's phone as evidence and surreptitiously secreted the incriminating briefcase within a concealed compartment. Subsequently, Ladybug contacted Maria, a key informant, to unravel the mystery. Maria revealed that she had served as a cocktail waiter at Wolf's wedding and that the tequila, the lifeblood of the festivities, had been surreptitiously laced with a potent venom extracted from the deadly boomslang snake. This insidious toxin, capable of coagulating blood and inducing a catastrophic internal hemorrhage, proved fatal unless an antidote was administered within a mere 30 seconds. The investigation took a sinister turn as it was discovered that a venomous boomslang snake, illicitly procured from a renowned zoo in Tokyo, was currently concealed aboard the very train they were traveling on. Lemon and Tangerine, a formidable duo, were tasked with retrieving the briefcase, a crucial piece of evidence. However, upon their return, they were met with a horrifying sight. The son, their esteemed colleague, had succumbed to the same venomous fate. With a heavy heart, they discreetly concealed the son's remains and meticulously cleaned the scene of the macabre incident before embarking on a relentless pursuit of the individual who had absconded with the vital briefcase. Earlier, the prince had fortuitously witnessed Ladybug's involvement in the unfolding events. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Ladybug promptly relayed this crucial information to Tangerine. Coincidentally, Ladybug's path crossed with Lemon's within the confines of the tranquil quiet car. Recognizing Lemon from a previous assignment in Johannesburg, a surge of adrenaline coursed through Ladybug's veins. A fierce and silent battle ensued, a whirlwind of punches and kicks exchanged in a desperate bid to neutralize the threat without alerting the unsuspecting passengers within the confines of the confined space. Ladybug makes an effort to take away Lemon's weapon and finally manages to knock him unconscious using a laptop. He then adds a sedative to Lemon's water bottle, hides his firearm, and swipes his mobile phone. Ladybug casually greets a nearby passenger, saying, "Hey, bro." He then proposes, "Do you want to make an easy $200? The passenger, somewhat confused, responds, "Is this like a sex thing?" To which Ladybug replies, "Nope." The passenger, realizing Ladybug was joking, responds, "Oh, okay." After a brief pause, he adds, "Yeah, what's up? What do you need, bro?" Subsequently, Ladybug changes his attire with that of another passenger before contacting Maria once more. She informs him about another assassin known as the Hornet. This individual, who was responsible for introducing the boomslang poison at Wolf's wedding, is on the same train and is the one who poisoned the White Death's son. Meanwhile, Tangerine briefly disembarks at the next station to meet with White Death's henchmen, assuring them that everything is proceeding as planned. At the same time, Lemon attempts to create the illusion that the son is still alive. In the bar car, Prince fortuitously discovers the hidden briefcase in the compartment. She approaches Yuichi, requesting his assistance in modifying the briefcase so that it can be used to eliminate White Death. Additionally, Prince provides him with a modified gun, designed to explode upon pulling the trigger, as the White Death has a tendency to execute assassins with the very weapons they wielded. Yuichi then receives a call from his father, during which he explains the unfolding situation and mentions that he is pursuing the individual who harmed his grandson. The elder, meanwhile, is privy to Prince's conversation on the phone. Tangerine locates Ladybug by tracing the phone that Ladybug had previously taken from Lemon. He confronts Ladybug, suspecting him of being the one who poisoned White Death's son. The two start throwing punches at each other until Ladybug opens an emergency door, causing both of them to almost be ejected from the train before they manage to pull themselves back inside. They agree to a temporary ceasefire when Tangerine receives a phone call from White Death. During the call, White Death warns them that if they don't arrive at the next station with the briefcase, he will execute everyone aboard the train. In an attempt to outsmart White Death's henchmen, they decide to pose as siblings, knowing that the goons have no actual knowledge of Lemon's appearance. They also opt to use a different briefcase, but Ladybug inadvertently opens it, revealing their deception and forcing them to flee back onto the train. Tangerine expresses that he still requires someone to take the blame for the entire scenario, and he believes Ladybug is his best bet. As the train approaches the next stop, Ladybug kicks Tangerine off the train just before it begins to move again. However, Tangerine manages to leap back on before the train speed increases too much. He successfully shatters the glass with his brass knuckles and reboards the train. At the same time, Lemon encounters Yuichi and Prince, where he consumes some water that has been tampered with. Quickly, he realizes that both Yuichi and Prince are not acting with honorable intentions and concludes that they must be responsible for the death of the son. In a swift and decisive move, Lemon executed Yuichi. However, his triumph was short-lived. Upon concealing Yuichi's remains, Lemon discovered a perilous contraption, a firearm ingeniously rigged to inflict harm upon its wielder. The insidious powder within the weapon swiftly took effect, plunging Lemon into unconsciousness. Seizing this opportune moment, Prince unleashed a barrage of gunfire upon the incapacitated Lemon, leaving him grievously wounded. Subsequently, Prince concealed both Lemon and Yuichi within the confines of the bathroom, effectively erasing all traces of their encounter. Amidst the chaos, Ladybug stumbled upon a ringing mobile device, its origin traceable to Yuichi. Answering the call, Ladybug engaged in a brief conversation with the enigmatic elder, discreetly divulging the impending destination of the train. Suddenly, Ladybug's attention was diverted by the unexpected appearance of the Hornet, a figure shrouded in mystery. Throughout the journey, the Hornet had meticulously cultivated a deceptive persona, masquerading as a whimsical costumed performer. In a chilling act of treachery, the Hornet had employed the venomous payload to fatally inject the White Death's offspring, subsequently exchanging attire with the unsuspecting concession girl. A cunning serpent, the Hornet had orchestrated the theft of a venomous boomslang snake from its secure enclosure within the zoo, utilizing its potent venom as a weapon to eliminate her adversaries. Furthermore, the Hornet's insidious influence extended beyond the confines of the train, as she had infiltrated Wolf's wedding under the guise of a skilled pastry chef, poisoning the unsuspecting guests with the deadly venom. The stage was set for a confrontation. The Hornet, driven by a relentless pursuit of her promised reward, the coveted contents of the briefcase, engaged Ladybug in a fierce struggle. In a desperate attempt to deliver a fatal dose of venom, the Hornet lunged forward with a syringe. However, Ladybug, with a display of remarkable agility, parried the attack, simultaneously inflicting a minor wound upon the Hornet with the remaining venom. Undeterred, the Hornet swiftly retrieved the antivenom, intending to counteract the effects of the venom within her own system. However, Ladybug, anticipating her move, seized the antidote, prioritizing his own survival. With a chilling sense of satisfaction, Ladybug witnessed the Hornet succumb to the very poison she had so ruthlessly wielded, a poignant reminder of the inescapable clutches of karma. Elsewhere, Tangerine stumbled upon the grim discovery of Lemon's lifeless body within the confines of the bathroom. Fueled by a burning desire for vengeance, Tangerine resolved to hunt down his tormentor. In a subsequent communication with the enigmatic White Death, Tangerine learned that the White Death had strategically acquired every available ticket for the Kyoto leg of their journey, ensuring that only a select few, including themselves, would remain aboard the train. Tangerine, in his pursuit of the assassin, unexpectedly encountered Prince. Initially, he was almost completely deceived by her carefully constructed facade. However, a crucial clue, a seemingly insignificant sticker bearing the image of Diesel from the beloved children's series Thomas the Tank Engine, left by the late Lemon, shattered the illusion. This subtle yet poignant reminder served as a chilling revelation, confirming Lemon's suspicions about Prince's true identity. Before Tangerine could execute his plan for retribution, Ladybug, driven by a relentless pursuit of justice, once again crossed paths with him. The ensuing confrontation escalated rapidly, culminating in a tragic turn of events. Tangerine, grievously wounded by a gunshot to the neck, succumbed to his injuries, leaving Ladybug in a state of shock and despair, unable to convey the crucial warning about Prince's treachery. Undeterred, Ladybug devised a plan to apprehend Prince at the forthcoming stop. However, Prince, a master of manipulation, employed a series of calculated delays and feigned innocence, effectively thwarting Ladybug's efforts and compelling him to return to the train. Meanwhile, the enigmatic Elder, having earlier overheard Prince's incriminating phone conversation with Yuichi, sensed impending danger. He discreetly boarded the train, maintaining a watchful presence near Ladybug and the increasingly suspicious Prince. As Ladybug attempted to distance himself from the unsettling proximity of Prince, a venomous encounter occurred. A venomous boomslang snake, lurking in the shadows, inflicted a painful bite upon Ladybug, prompting him to flee in a state of panic, culminating in the dramatic disposal of the serpent down the train's toilet. Seizing the opportunity, the Elder confronted Prince, swiftly dispossessing her of her belongings. Coincidentally, Prince's phone began to ring, a chilling reminder of the impending doom awaiting her intended victim, Wataru. However, Prince failed to answer the call, triggering a chain of events orchestrated by her ruthless henchmen. Anticipating this treacherous move, the Elder had proactively deployed his own formidable assassin, disguised as a seemingly harmless nurse, to safeguard his grandson. In a swift and decisive action, the Elder's assassin neutralized Prince's henchmen before any harm could befall Wataru. Overwhelmed by terror and despair, Prince fled the scene, leaving a trail of chaos in her wake. Ladybug, miraculously recovering from the venomous bite, thanks to the timely administration of the antivenom earlier obtained from the Hornet, returned to the scene. The Elder, observing Ladybug's demeanor, gently addressed his perceived streak of ill fortune. He imparted words of wisdom, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all events and the profound influence of fate in shaping one's destiny. The Elder subtly suggested that Ladybug's encounters, though seemingly unfortunate, were not merely coincidences but rather orchestrated by a higher power, guiding him along a predetermined path. He recounts the tale of his past as Minagishi's trusted ally before being betrayed by White Death. After the tragedy of losing his wife at the hands of White Death, he pledged to seek vengeance against him. Opting for a life in hiding alongside his son, he has been meticulously scheming for revenge ever since that devastating day. As events unfold, they discover that Yuichi is still alive, and to their surprise, Lemon regains consciousness as well. He has miraculously survived chest wounds due to the protection afforded by a bulletproof vest. Lemon takes a moment of quiet reflection as he sits beside his brother, honoring him with the gift of the Thomas sticker. However, his emotions soon turn to fury, and he feels compelled to confront Ladybug for the loss of his brother. Thankfully, Yuichi and the Elder manage to persuade Lemon to hold back, as they all understand that individually, they would stand no chance against the formidable White Death. The train reaches Kyoto just as White Death is set to enter. In a tense moment, Prince confronts him, revealing their connection as father and daughter. She expresses her long-standing resentment towards him, highlighting that he has always favored his son and shown little to no care for her well-being. In a calculated move, she tries to incite him into taking his own life using a rigged gun, but he merely turns away from the idea of harming her. Meanwhile, Ladybug steps out and surrenders himself along with a briefcase. His henchmen rush to claim the briefcase as White Death outlines his grand plan, making it clear that each individual aboard the train has been intentionally brought there by him. His motives are rooted in a desire for retribution following the death of his wife, who tragically lost her life in a car accident that was, in fact, an assassination attempt targeting him. Lemon and Tangerine were involved in a deadly encounter in Bolivia, where they eliminated some of White Death's operatives. This incident prompted White Death to make a hasty trip there, causing him to miss his scheduled ride. His disregard for his son became evident, particularly in light of how his wife's efforts to rescue him from his illegal activities ultimately resulted in her untimely demise. Hornet found herself drawn into the situation because she had poisoned the doctor who had the potential to save White Death's wife. Moreover, he holds the belief that Ladybug is actually Carver, the individual behind the assassination plot against him. He seemed to be wagering on the idea that all of the hired assassins would turn on one another. As Ladybug attempts to clarify to White Death that he is not Carver, chaos ensues when the henchmen open a briefcase that detonates just as Lemon successfully gets the train moving. Ladybug races back on board, but he is pursued by White Death and his men. Meanwhile, the Elder and Yuichi manage to neutralize the goons that have infiltrated the train at the exact moment that White Death challenges the Elder. They both draw their swords and commence a fierce duel, while Ladybug and Lemon are busy fending off the remaining henchmen in the driver's compartment. The train hurtles onward at an alarming speed and veers onto the wrong track, colliding with another train that was standing still. As they continue to fend off the assailants, Ladybug makes an attempt to engage the emergency brake. In a final act of bravery, Lemon ultimately throws himself and the last remaining henchman off the train just as they cross over a bridge. Just as White Death is about to finish off the Elder, Ladybug slams on the brakes, providing the Elder with a critical chance to stab his foe, putting him on the brink of death. Following this intense moment, the train derails and crashes violently into a nearby town. Remarkably, the men manage to escape the wreckage of the train. However, White Death attempts to take Ladybug's life, but due to a malfunctioning firearm, he accidentally shoots himself instead. Meanwhile, Prince makes an effort to eliminate both Ladybug and the Kimura brothers, but his plan is abruptly halted when he is struck by a truck full of tangerines. Shortly thereafter, Maria arrives in person to help Ladybug as he bids farewell to the Kimuras. Fueled by a newfound and optimistic perspective on life, he genuinely feels fortunate until disaster strikes with a telephone pole crashing onto Maria's vehicle, compelling them to continue on foot. In the last scene, it is revealed that Lemon survived his fall from the train and took control of the tangerine truck, which he then used to run down Prince, thus avenging his partner Tangerine. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks and see you again soon. Take care.